Welcome back to the reality, guys. I'm your host, Billy Blinks, joined as always by my co-host, Brian.
Go on, everybody.
More importantly, your friend, our friend, the Tarstorian, part of the reality TV Warriors as well. Our buddy Logan. How are you, man?
I'm doing all right. How are you guys doing? I heard you had a rough summer with all of you being riddled with herpes, so I'm curious, how are you guys doing with the
He's
herpes?
You were there for us during our spam intervention. You put one herpes in one title of one video for Love Island, and all of a sudden,
no, it was
No,
UFC.
Ultimate Fighter.
UFC. Oh yeah, because of the cancellation
Could
on the
be
fight.
probably Love Island too. It just went
Yeah,
unaired
you're
with
right.
herpes
Yeah,
there.
Love Island was gonorrhea, but
Exactly. Yep. But fact is, man, we appreciate you were there for us. We listen. You are the amazing race historian. You are the man. We loved it when you were on the preview last year. We'll make sure we give the plug to the Tarstorian blogs. Logan does rankings of all podcast coverages. He does episode recaps and fun facts and editorials about all things Amazing Race. We're looking forward to his coverage this season, as well as hopefully the end of the coverage from
Of
last.
34. I was working on it today. Yeah.
nice.
I always do have it done before the next one starts. But like you guys seen, if this is your first time with Reality Guys for a preview, what we do is we blindly check out the contestants. We look at a season preview. We're going to use the Entertainment Weekly one here. We make our kind of evaluations. Logan will give us some fun facts about maybe how this is different or relates to some older seasons of the show. And we'll go from there. I'm going to throw the article up. There are a few changes, and the changes are kind of familiar changes, right, guys, as far as the format this season. There are technically no non-elimination legs, correct, but there could be some super legs. They said that they're also going to bring the express back and the U-turns,
Express
as
Pass.
well as airport travel on their own again. Logan, does that mainly cover what we're going back to?
Yeah, there's a few changes where they bumped it up to 13 teams for the first time ever. So not
Okay.
quite the size of the past couple of Mason Race Australia casts, but they're certainly leaning towards that direction because a lot of fans say, "Oh, we hate these non-elimination legs." Well, if you do 12 episode seasons, your only solution is to throw in more teams. So by having 13 teams, presumably if it's another 12 episode season, that means you have one non-elimination or one mega leg for the season. So that'll definitely be a
Mega leg.
record.
Yeah.
Yeah, mega leg. Season 35.
35. Let's see. Also the 90-minute episodes, right? So what I did find interesting, I did read an article, a season preview, an interview with Phil, and I think it was nice to note that they were made aware of it before they filmed this season. So they took that into account with how they shot it and how they, I'm assuming, how they set up some of the legs and challenges to. I mean, these legs have to be longer, or do you think they're just going to show more of the actual tasks themselves?
I don't know if they'll necessarily be because the number of days they were filming for, I think, was still relatively the same. Because Phil Kogan always goes hashtag 12 episodes, 20 days. That's been the motto since about season 14 or
Okay.
15. That's always their big thing. So I presume what will most likely be the case is maybe they throw in an additional task or two each episode. So I think it'll be probably maybe a second detour or more legs where you see two roadblocks. And I think in the articles too, they said, oh, there's the express pass is being brought back after, because I just talked about how they haven't had it since season 29. It seemed like the twist had run its course. Now they're bringing that back. U-turn is coming back with the Bertram and Elise did an official interview where they said it's a new twist on the U-turn. So people are speculating how do you what's going to be the twist? How do you make the U-turn different? So people are curious if it's going to be maybe similar to what they do in Amazing Race Canada or some of the other international versions of just how they maybe adapt it more to a yield penalty or who knows? Lots of wild theories out there as to what that could mean.
I miss the guys. I miss that have someone having that in their pocket, right? Though, to be able to go and do the express like they did in the earlier seasons, because then it's the strategy of the longer you can hold it, right? Then you can guarantee yourself a spot into that, whatever that cutoff is, the final 5, final 4, whatever they decided to be. I always just love that of it. And frankly, when 2 people go for it at once like that, I mean, that it is like life or death there. So
that would be the fast forward, yeah. So
yeah,
that's different. So express pass is just typically the winner of the first leg or the winner of the second leg gets handed an express pass or 2
okay,
express passes, and then they have to give one away to another team, or they use one, and after they use one, then they have to hand over that express pass to another team. Expiration dates vary per season. It typically doesn't impact a season. There's only been one major example for the American version where a team has fumbled the express pass, because typically if you win the first or second leg of the race, chances are you're going to be around long enough past the expiration date of final 6 or final 5. So there's been a lot of times where a team says, oh, well, it's leg 7 or leg 8 or leg 9. This is the last chance to use it. Even though we're in a good position, we'll just play it. So
makes sense.
Makes sense.
It's like the
yeah.
Genie Plus of the Amazing Race. So you're trying to get around Disney World on a fast pass. All right,
Yeah.
here we go. We're gonna meet the teams and let's go from here. Jocelyn Chow and Victor Lemary. Jocelyn and Victor, both 49, are a married couple who work as grocery store managers in Albuquerque, New Mexico, with Walter White. Jocelyn and Victor met at school dance in college. There's school dances in college. And all what is school dance in college? Brian, what? What does that mean?
I don't know, man. It must be a New Mexico thing.
They went to college. The Amazing Race, before they started a family, their kids were driving force that encouraged the couple to apply for the show. They seem nice.
Yeah, they just did an interview with another podcast very recently, a preseason interview with them, and they were talking about how they really look up to the teams that don't fight and are really nice to each other.
Well, we love those teams. We need something to talk about.
Yeah, the drama.
That's like a Joker smile, though.
Yeah, it's a big. It is.
They get
yeah,
people
definitely
dirty,
is.
I think, on these pictures sometimes, frankly. All right, well, we like them, though. We're not going to be anti them. Liam and Jeremy Heichel. Liam, 23, and Jeremy, 24, are brothers from Cheyenne, Wyoming, and San Marcos, Texas. Liam is a veteran.
That's quite the combination.
Yep, they're the veterans. U.S. Navy, and Jeremy is a U.S. Marine Corps. We've had a fractured relationship for a long time. Okay, what you get to see here is relatively new within the last 5 years. We've just been putting the pieces back together of a lost relationship that we've had.
They're gonna fight.
Oh, they're gonna fight.
I haven't seen too many sibling teams that give each other piggyback rides in the press photos. That's usually reserved for more of the dating couples. You'll typically see that, but not really with the brother teams too often.
Matching sneakers, boys.
I'm not gonna lie. I thought the person holding was a woman at first. The hair.
Is it
hair.
Liam and then Jeremy because of left to right? Technically, like is that?
Yeah, whose arm is sticking out further?
Yeah, that's what I'm
to the
saying.
left
Yeah,
in the
he's the
press
furthest
photo.
left. He hit the screen first.
We had this issue last season. Remember that?
This is what we did. Yeah,
Was it the long lost twins? We didn't know who was who. That
we
was
didn't know.
Oh, Emily
I
and
think we had
Molly?
the murderer mixed up too.
yeah, the murderers. Yeah.
Andrea Simpson and Milena Hatcher. Andrea, 44, Milena, 45, are best friends from Philadelphia. Okay. Milena works as a tax examiner technician. Oh, well, that's a mess. While Andrea is the director of credit management. If that's also for the city, that's also a mess. Melania and Andrea met in college, and we've been best friends ever since. We don't want to be the mean team. Melina said in the preview, we're not going to be the mean team. They're going to be the mean team. They said it twice, right?
Yeah, they jinxed it.
I think we're just
negative.
vibrant spirits. They're going to be the mean team. They're from my town, man. I know how they're going to be. Let's go. Looks like the pink ranger. Are these Power Ranger socks? You think?
Yeah, maybe.
Pink Ranger socks.
Yeah, so they borrowed from Sally Schumann's knee socks from Survivor Exile Island.
That's a good call out. All right, let's go to
Topical.
Is everyone matching? These guys are really matching. Joe Muskowski and Ian Todd. Joe, 35, and Ian, 40, are a recently engaged couple from New York City. Joe's the head of business development for a commercial real estate tech platform, while Ian's a senior director for new business for a marketing tech startup. Dude, just say you're in sales and you're in marketing, dude. Like, oh God.
Yeah, they're
We
picking up
both
their
worked
job.
out at the same gym during lunch, so like we weren't a ton of people there. Ian said, throwing eyes at each other for months, I got up the courage to introduce myself to Joe.
How long have they been together, you think?
They're recently engaged, so
Too
that
many words for me.
implies a few years at
Well,
least.
no, you would think. You would think.
You would think, but it take him 6 months to talk, and then they could be engaged in another 6 months. I
So
don't
we're
know.
check-
They definitely think they're very smart. No one puts that their own description like
So
that.
what's the other one? We hit the military couple. We hit the military team, the gay team. What's the other one that we need to hit? To
Father, daughter, father,
Oh, yeah,
mother. Was there ever a mother son? I feel like I never seen mother son.
Yeah, there's been a few. There's been a mother-son team that's played 3 times in the American version. And pretty much they were really, really close to winning the first time they played.
and just like that, man. Here's the father-daughter duo. It's like clockwork.
I am the best at doing this. I always call things before they happen. Steve Cargile and Anna Lee Wilson. Steve, 54, Anna Lee, 28. Father-daughter duo from Petty, Texas and Royce City, Texas. Cargile is a paint contractor while Wilson works as a speech pathologist, private flight attendant, and influencer. Damn.
There it is.
A lot of things.
Very Generation Y, Generation Z there. Multiple job titles.
I'm an
or Generation Z, I guess, as you guys would say.
I'm just curious if they're like a fighting father-daughter, or they're like best friends, father-daughter.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the stereotype is with paint contractors. Are they usually volatile? Are they easygoing?
Is he going to let her
Contractors are
drive?
the same.
Is he going to let her drive the car? That one couple, he
probably. Oh boy, yeah. Ooh,
is that 34 with it was the Indian couple, right? Like he wouldn't let her drive.
he
the
wouldn't
car.
let her make one decision.
Oh, 33. Sorry, talking
33,
about Arun and Natalia.
Yeah, yeah. He was just a bad driver too.
Oh my god. Morgan and Lena Franklin. So we got sisters. Yep. Morgan, 31, Lena, 29, New York City and LA, respectively. Both sisters work as marketing executives. In a preview, Lena revealed she once watched 27 seasons of The Amazing Race in only 2 months. Nice.
Good for her.
I like that.
I'll beat that.
Brian would beat that. You beat that with a Survivor.
Yeah. Whoops. Yeah, I could definitely beat that. Lena.
We just watched 8 seasons of Southern Charm in like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Todd and Ashley with an IE Martin. Todd and Ashley Martin, both 38, are a married couple from Chino, California. Todd works as a special ed teacher while Ashley's a hospitality account manager. The couple met at age 15. So these are high school sweethearts.
Yeah, you hit the high school sweetheart couple that we always see each season.
Yeah, on the bingo card. Bingo.
Yeah, we need to market that.
Do you think they will fight a lot?
Amazing Race bingo card.
It's tough to say. I don't think so, because they've been together since they were teenagers. Other couples I know who have been together for a really long time since teenagers tend to be pretty easygoing
if they've traveled together.
23 years is a long time to be together.
It is a long time.
But there's some people where they could fight, but you're not worried about it completely ruining it.
No, they're fine. They're not going to like break up
shit.
at the end of the season.
No, yeah, they're not going to. Yeah. Robin Tomich and Chelsea Day, both 41, best friends of Kirkland, Washington and Shoreline, Washington. Women are stay-at-home moms. Duo met at junior high. 7th grade bully, Robin was. That's good. Eventually became friends. Robin said that Chelsea helped her through the death of her husband, who died of leukemia.
So based off of this, left is Robin. So Chelsea on the right was the bully?
Yes.
Yeah, because she was a little bit taller.
Sleeves.
She looks like she's got some muscle on her too.
Taller. She was definitely taller, probably. Yeah. The height advantage.
We'll hear about it. We'll definitely see an old picture. And that
in middle school bullying, height is big.
Yeah, maybe she went through a growth spurt. Maybe it was. Maybe we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, maybe Robin got significantly taller in 8th grade. The tables have turned, Mr. Bond.
This is definitely this is definitely not on the bingo card. The old school bullies.
Rivals turned friends. Yeah. It's very anime of them.
Yeah, it's Death Note all over again. This is they pretty much hit all of the check marks of the team that usually goes home first. Because There's been so many times in the early seasons where they have two women in their 40s who are best friends and stay-at-home moms, and uh, they're
Happy to be
so
there.
they're gone, like, you know, they're gonna be out of it about halfway into the season premiere. So I've been torn between picking them as the first boot or the other team we talked about earlier, Andrea and Melina, because they also are in their 40s and they had the quote about thinking we're just vibrant spirits, and it came off as very non-competitive. So I have those two teams as the first two most likely out this season because
I can support it.
they hit all of the categories of early exits.
I support it.
That's endorsed.
Okay. No, I was just thinking, I'm like, okay, cool. No, I'm like, anything I had? Nope. Greg and John, brothers, New York, a lot of siblings from New York.
Brothers.
Hey, brother. California, Greg, software developer, John's product manager. So look, this is what I'm talking about. These guys have impressive jobs. They said it in 3 words. Not a marketing director for a startup tech product anomaly conglomerate. Like, come on, guys. They've been to Montreal together. We've been to Thailand together. That's key. Singapore,
They
China.
travel.
They've traveled. They share a bunk bed when they go home. Okay. Not bad. They're kind of getting the points you kind of brought up, Logan. Like, can you guys like stay together, and have you had any experience traveling? Right.
I think Marcus and Michael want their royalties because they copied
That's
the
right.
same pose in
Yeah.
the press photo.
Yeah.
Fusion dance, basically.
But yeah, clearly travel experience. They're young, they're athletic, and they have jobs that aren't super physical too to balance that out. I mean, there's going to be a lot of legs in Asia this year. That was officially confirmed in the press release. Thailand being one of the countries they talked about in the press release. So
There we go.
clearly, they're going to have a lot of advantages.
Father son, Brian. Rob 48 and Corey 25. I guess that's what I have. We got 13 teams. Like, there's a lot of bingo checks, you know. Riverside, California, New York City. Rob's a teaching assistant and a football coach. Corey's a senior manager of client strategy and analytics. My dad has really inspired me to always live putting my values first in pretty much everything that I do. And there's a unique twist on it with my dad being deaf.
Uh-oh.
Oh boy.
I was waiting for you to come across and see what your
Oh
reaction
boy.
was going to
Yeah.
be.
Yeah.
How is he a football coach? You know what I mean? Like, you're yelling at everybody. People are yelling at you. You know what I mean?
I just had some bad jokes go through my head there. Raise the women, so we can show the world, you know, deaf people can raise their children and have really intimate relationship with them. Corey said in a preview. I mean, I don't think a deaf guy can't raise a kid. Like, I don't. That's a little much of a stretch. But like, coaching a football team is a little tough, right? Is he like fake deaf? Is he like mostly deaf, or is he like deaf?
Is he Matt Deaf from Big Brother?
Matt doesn't seem very deaf to me, frankly. That dude holds better conversations than I do.
So that was a big debate amongst the Amazing Race, even amongst even amongst the deaf community. That's always a bit of a subject with them. So I talked a bit before about how there was the mother-son team where the son was deaf and they played 3 times and they did really well their first time, and then they did well in their second and third time. There's this one type of task that the son is terrible at. No, it's not a hearing task. It was actually it's always taste-based challenges that he's terrible at for some reason.
Huh.
And then in the Asian version, there was a contestant. It was two friends, and the one friend was deaf, but he wasn't completely deaf like the son and the mother-son team. And he actually won his season in the Asian version, and they were the only team that could keep up with the most dominant team in all of Amazing Race history across all the international versions. So yeah, deaf racers definitely are have a easier time with the Amazing Race, especially compared to blind. They've had a blind racer in the Canadian version. There were some tasks where he had
Wait,
there was
somebody
a
was
bit
blind?
legally blind. Yeah, he could barely see. He
Oh,
had that
okay.
disease where pretty much of what we see, he could see about 2 to 5% of his vision. Yeah, like really pretty much blind, I would say.
What was his place?
Sixth place, but I mean he really held his own. It was just there were going to be tasks afterwards where he would have done really well. Michael and I are actually good friends with him. We interviewed him on the podcast once.
Cool.
Nice.
And
Nice.
it's just there was this one leg where there was a lot of visual based tasks where one was they had to go through dark prison cells and find items. So clearly he had no chance of being able to do that. So it was all dependent on his wife being able to complete those challenges. And there was one where I think there was a paddling challenge where they had to spot them some things, if I recall correctly. So it's just a bad combination of tasks in a single leg, and that's how they kind of got screwed over.
Makes sense.
Yeah, so death contestants typically have don't face as many disadvantages as you would think on the Amazing Race.
Joel Strasser and Garrett Smith, 42-43, both best friends from Idaho. Joel's auto claims training. Garrett's a delivery driver, met while serving in the military. Second set of vets here 22 years ago.
Gabler's doppelganger right
I
here.
feel like these guys could get
Yeah.
right?
And this guy's got a nice handlebar mustache. It's like this beard is blocking you.
I don't like his
it.
point. This guy's got obviously gelled up in the front here, I think. Or is it
I can't wait to
down?
hear them talk.
Or is it just spread down? Maybe actually, maybe it's just spread down. At first, it looked like a fifth grade flip to me, but this may just be a thinning middle-aged man's head. That's really the analysis I have for these guys. I think they'll be okay. They seem regular dudes. They're probably in relatively good shape. Delivery driver guys probably in pretty good shape. I wonder what he delivers though. Like, is he a Grubhub driver or is he delivering like military missiles?
Bare knuckle. He delivers bare knuckle boxing like to your face.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is that guy. Yeah,
he delivers knuckle sandwiches on the daily.
Knuckle sandwich. We're never gonna not make this guy. Here's all the things happening already. Elizabeth and Ileana Rivera. Elizabeth 52, Ileana 27, mother-daughter, Tampa, Florida, retired lieutenant. Is that like a military lieutenant or like a cop? Ileana works as both a therapist and an event planner. We need those $1 million so I don't need to work 8 jobs anymore because I'm tired of it, quite frankly. I like the honesty. I just want the money.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Sorry to let her know about how taxes work, though. She's going to have to still keep her job.
Unfortunately, all female Latina teams do very, very poorly on the Amazing Race. They do not have a good track record.
Sampling, like I'm watching CNN.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, historically in this county, the Latina vote just not there.
Yeah. It really isn't. Like that was the thing. If there was an all-female Latina team, they're usually out first, and then did you guys talk to Lulu and Lala on your podcast? I can't remember if you guys
we didn't, but didn't they miss a step and they just lost, right? That's how they lost.
Chat talked to Lulu and Lala, I think.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I know a few podcasts did. So with Lulu and Lala, they're pretty much the most successful all-female Latina team in the American version. And that was in a season where they only had really 7 teams competing because 4 didn't come back.
Right.
2 teams were already eliminated that were brought back. So out of the 5 teams that were legit contenders, Lulu and Lala got 5th out of 5. So it's not the best track record out there, especially when you add in mother-daughter on top of that, which the best I can think of is a team from season 1 with Nancy and Emily as mother-daughter. And
I remember that. We watched that.
Yeah, and then maybe Casilda and Casilda from the first Latin American season of Amazing Race where they quit over an eating task, which was hilarious. That's as good as it gets for all female Latina teams on Amazing Race.
Bill, real quick. I think Lulu and Lala, they wrote a comment on our video that they thought we were making fun of them, and that's probably why we didn't pursue any conversation with them, because
I thought
I remember that
like cleared it up. We
definitely did, but they thought we were trashing.
They follow like the channel. I think they at least follow me like back on Twitter too, so it's nothing bad. But
yeah,
I believe the exact quote is, "You guys don't know what you're talking about." If I remember correctly,
that was it. We were like, "What?"
Did you put that in your review? Is that what it was? Like, did that make the review? It might have made the
probably.
Review.
Yeah, you guys have made you just got dissed by Lulu and Lala.
It's so crazy. Happened to watch that 60 seconds, huh? It's so wild how that works out. Alexandra and Sheridan Lichter. 34-29 sister brother duo. Oh, thank God. I thought they were married. I was like, they look way too similar.
Oh my God,
sister brother duo from Chicago. Work as consultants. They do everything together, share an apartment, work at the same business, and now are amazing. That's weird.
That's weird. That's very weird.
Yeah, that's weird.
It's funny. Alexandra looks almost identical to Sarah from off of Terrence of Sarah from season 13 of Amazing Race, where I thought, do they bring somebody back for just one racer gets to play a second time this season? But no, she's a completely different person. And there's a good chance the Lictors might be the victors. They seem like a
really?
well-rounded team.
Lictor Victors, huh?
Lictors may be the victors. I like that.
Is that it? Is it?
Up quickly.
That's all 13. Yeah, you guys went through them fast.
Everyone's gonna make a pick here. Brian, if anyone feels confident, they can call it. I'm gonna scroll through them.
I don't want to take this guy.
I had Liam and Urami as potential winners. I had the best number. I had a whole boot list 1 through 13 here, and I put them in the one spot.
Yeah, honestly. So what you want? You want the guy with the pinwheel mustache?
Where's that at, just for fun, just because I want to hear this guy.
Yeah. So and Joel and Garrett, and frankly,
get points
just because you just said that, Lictors are gonna be the victors. I'm going with the Lictors. Creepy Lictors. I'm gonna roll with the creeps. Turns out, and please, guys, if you're watching this, because we know what ends up happening half the time. We're
just joking around.
Prove me wrong. Again, I got a hero quest board behind me.
Yeah, we're also just joking around with the jokes. Cool. Totally joking around.
Like got a Tails stuffed animal.
Unless that guy wants to come, we would like some bare knuckling.
Big whoop, want to fight about it?
Yeah. If he wants to throw hands, I'll throw hands.
I will grow because this is going to be going on in November, right? I'll grow out my mustache and try to.
Oh, it'll be going.
If they're still around, I'll be that dude. Maybe even do it shirtless for an episode like Brett and just like get in fights.
Yeah. Well, I'll see Brett.
Barry Larkin. Gotta
Barry
love
Larkin.
Yeah, look, you can't. So Brian can't shave until that team is eliminated.
I like that. My mustache.
Your mustache. He's shaving his face.
I can't grow a beard. The mustache I've done before. My beard is terrible. I mean, you can see it right now.
It's like, Bill, you have
like 3 days and it's terrible.
And
so you're gonna go halvesies.
I also got to think about my wife because she hates when I have facial hair. No sex for you.
Yeah.
Before we head out, Logan, I want to make sure again that you can plug everything that you got going on and upcoming in the fall.
So let's see. So I'm finishing off the ranking of the recap podcasters battle royale from season 34. So I do that up on the Tarstorian blog there. I'm also currently working on, I'm up to season 1 of Amazing Race Canada in my Tarstorian blog, which is like my 352nd episode or so overall in the Amazing Race timeline of all the English versions. And we've got RTV Warriors, where I don't know what we've got planned for the immediate future, probably another historian season of either Amazing Race or The Mole, probably the Dutch version, so probably V is The Mole. And then, of course, my usual antics on Instagram and Twitter. Right now, I'm ranking all 63 countries that I visited around the world, going from 63 down to 1. So I'm trying to do 1 per day. So I'm up to about number 35 out of the 63 countries I've been to.
Real quick, without spoiling your list too much, what's been a sleeper country that people will be surprised that's high on your list?
Let me bring up my
Canada.
I already did Canada. I just did I just came back from a
US was low, trip. I thought, right? It was pretty low.
Canada and US were back to back, yeah. 41 and 40 I had them as. Let's see. A sleeper country, what? Like top 20 that you wouldn't expect?
Top 20 sleeper country.
Let's see.
North Korea.
I've done South. Hang on.
The Vatican.
People wouldn't quite expect. Probably top 20. There's probably 2 sleeper ones, I would say. Malaysia and Montenegro are sleeper top 20.
Ooh,
and then just outside of that somewhere is Uzbekistan.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
What was number 63? What was the worst country to you?
North Macedonia. I got there a day late. I left a day early out of
I didn't
pure
know that was a
boredom.
real country. I would have, if you put a list of 4, it was like, which one's fake? I'd be like, North Macedonia. No way, that's real.
Do these
Well,
countries have Instagrams? Like, could you at them and be like, "Hey, by the way,
At
don't like your
Macedonia.
country."
the tourism board definitely would. Yeah. Yeah, so usually if I've stayed at a specific hostel I liked, or with a specific airline I like flying with, usually I tag them in the write-ups too. So if you go to this place, stay at this hostel. That's what I typically do.
That's what's up, dude.
Surprisingly, I didn't get too much hate mail with the lower ranked ones. I guess I had Brunei in 62nd, and I guess I just didn't have enough followers from Brunei to say, what the hell? It should have been at least 47th. Well,
The
what the hell are
hashtag
we
didn't catch
doing
on in Brunei
in
enough to mobilize.
62nd? Yeah. Yes.
We're gonna make sure, obviously, we're gonna have your links and all here in the episode description. We'll have the links in all the Amazing Race ones, because frankly, people should be reading the Battle Royale blog.
They're funny.
Is honestly, even if you're not an Amazing Race fan, it is. I mean, we don't say this much, but it's like must read. It's hilarious. We're not just saying that because you're on.
Yeah, when we discovered it, it was like one of my favorite moments. I was eating at Wendy's alone, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna click on this dude's link, and I read it, and I just laughed so hard and told these guys, and it was just like it
Bill.
like looking forward to it every Wednesday or Thursday.
I was like, what is? I'm like, this is a real thing, and I'm like going back, and I'm like, dude, there's a ton of these. Like, what? There's a thing. Again, if anything, we respect, like Brian and I. It's people that are dedicated to something and do it, and they fully do it regardless of,
and you're
like,
funny,
who's watching it or not, or what people think. And so that's why we always give you props, brother. You do everything that you do to the fullest, man. And so we definitely appreciate that. We want people to see your stuff, though. So thank you for coming on, and want to have you on during the season, possibly at some point, maybe even during the finale.
Yeah, unless I'm at the finale again, who knows?
We try not to skew the scores too much. We don't want people to think you're playing favoritism. Besides the fact that you rank yourself #1 every week in your own blog.
Yeah, almost every week. Yeah, I've told all the podcasts, if you have me on, I'll bump up the points for sure.
You're like, I can be bought.
I'm not. I am.
Difficult.
Have you seen the countries that I've been to? I've been to some of the most corrupt places in the world. You don't think that's
where do you think I got it from?
To me? Yeah.
I'll try to throw in a couple more like secret drops that I do. I always would drop a couple
secret
like edits in there for you.
Animations. You always use that one.
Like I did that one that time where I faded your face like opaque in the corner, like you're God. That was proud of that one.
Because I kept like looking around, like I was like thinking you had a hidden mic in the room. Like a
Mario
Monty
Party
Python
reference.
talking.
Yeah, always Mario Party for sure. But sadly, no more Waluigi references, unfortunately.
We'll still make them. Just won't see them. But we'll get back to weekly reviews. Amazing Race, hour and a half combined with an hour and a half Survivors comes back September 28th, I believe, right? Is that right?
27th.
27th, yeah. 90 minutes, so an extra 30 minutes of 10 more idols being thrown into every episode.
God. Yeah, I don't know how I'm looking forward to that.
More food this season. We want more food and wine.
I think it was more twists, is what Prope said. So,
I hate that.
So 30 minminutes of prisoner dilemmas and 10 more items.
My goat eats AstroTurf. Some of that, like, just more weird saying.
Don't bring my mood down. We're not talking Survivor.
Don't even get me started.
Yvonne Niage.
Check out all of Logan's stuff. Check out our TikTok as well. A lot of 60-second reviews, reality TV news, random clips, opinions, thoughts. But until the first review for Amazing Race, for myself, Brian, and Logan, thank you. Peace.
Peace out.